respected Reverend Dr. Xavier Bakiam, the rector and correspondent, Reverend Dr. Arul Segar, the principal, Reverend Father Paul Raj, the vice rector, esteemed faculty members, and my beloved students. A very good morning to you all. First, my apologies because I think you were made to come a little early because the original time was 9 a.m. Thank you very much to both the management and faculty members and dear students for kindly considering this request. And I wanted to begin with a round of appreciation. So I want you people to clap twice. First, for the yeoman service, the wonderful service that our Reverend Fathers here and the former fathers, the management of Don Bosco Matriculation Egmore have been doing for more than 6 decades now, standing as a pioneering institution in school education and nurturing young minds to achieve the maximum and the best. So, one big round of applause to our fathers and the respected management members here, and all those who have laid the foundation and formed this institution over the years. You are really doing a great service, dear fathers, to this, not only to the city of Chennai and to the state of Tamil Nadu, and also to the nation, but globally, everywhere we go. Like I come from Loyola, they say in every corner of the world there is a Loyolite, but it is also true that in every corner of the world there is a DBN. So the next round of applause is to you, my dear students, who are representing the best of minds. You are representing the best of young minds and the future of the nation. You are here, and this opportunity is something many of your friends have not got. So, my deep appreciation first, congratulations for being here and coming forward to give your best. Then, coming to this particular event, DB Innovesta. I just heard from Father Vice Rector that it is happening for about 29 years now. That's a real, I think it's a record by itself because we do conduct science expos in every school that is happening. But here, even in the invite, I did find something very unique. Usually they say only science expo. Here it's not only arts and science expo, it is a complete variety of fields that I could find. I could see medicine there, business, and psychology. So many things I could find. I was really thrilled, excited to see the wide range of disciplines that are being covered. So this is not just like any other science expo. I could really see that right from the way it has been designed. Being in the R&D division, heading this R&D division at Loyola, we deal with undergraduate students who show a lot of interest in research, even at their UG level. That is, those who are doing BSc, BA, BCom, they come up with very innovative ideas. I strongly believe that this scientific temper, that Master David, your speech was wonderful. So he touched upon scientific temper. This inquiry, spirit of inquiry, that scientific temper is not something that they develop after coming into college. Certainly not. So the foundation is actually being laid here, right in the school. And that's why I'm saying you are the privileged lot who have got this opportunity from 6th to 12th. I think you are participating. This wonderful opportunity to, explore, give your best, innovate, showcase your creativity is a golden opportunity. And this is where you are really developing this interest in research, inclination towards research and exploration. So what we actually do there in college is reaping the fruits of this hard work and efforts that is being actually done here in the schools, and that is why it gives me immense pleasure to be here to inaugurate this event. So I would just leave you with a very small thought. I wanted to share an incident which will help you appreciate the importance of such innovations and creativity. How many of you have seen a movie called Apollo 13? It's a very old movie. So if possible, now everything is available in OTT, right? You can go back and see. So why I'm talking about this particular movie is that, all of you know about NASA, right? What is NASA? The US's space exploration organization or whatever. Okay. So they were engaged in lunar mission, and they're continuously engaged in lunar mission, sending people to the moon. Okay. So one such expedition was Apollo 13, which was carried out in the year 1970. Okay. So there was a spaceship that went to moon along with carrying 3 astronauts, and the mission was to land on the moon. Of course, it was a failed mission. They did not succeed. But there happened something which saved the lives of those 3 astronauts, because the failed mission also had a technical error. There were 2 modules. All those who are interested in rocket science and space related science will be able to appreciate this. There were 2 modules. One is a command module, and the other one was a lunar module which was supposed to land there, like our Chandrayaan. But in the lunar module, there were 2 astronauts, and in the command module, there was one another astronaut. There was a fire, an explosion, which actually damaged the oxygen supply unit. Okay. So now what they had to do is just survive and return to the ground, to earth. They had to survive for 86 hours. But the capacity of the oxygen there was only for 36 hours and only for 2 people. And now they had to connect these 2 units in order to survive. And this third person will be generating more carbon dioxide, which, if not filtered out, will actually damage the entire spaceship, and all of them will die. So they didn't know what to do. They informed the ground station, and there was one scientist called Edwin Smiley. You can go back and read it in detail. I'm just putting it very short. There was a scientist called Edwin Smiley who had to plunge into action. All that he required to save these 3 people was a packing tape. Can you believe this? The packing tape. Have you seen the packing tape? We call it duct tape, right? So only the duct tape. They went into a research to find out what are the things that are available in the ship. They had a duct tape, they had some plastic covers, they had some cardboards, and the space suit hose was there. So with that, they connected these 2 units, because in the command module, the unit was square in shape, but in the lunar module, it was circular in shape. So they were not able to connect these 2. Therefore, they used this hose along with the duct tape. The duct tape is actually what we get for about 15 rupees or 10 rupees in the shop, is what saved the valuable lives of 3 astronauts back in space in the year 1970. From the ground, he gave the command to make this, like exactly what you're doing now, you have done now. You've created models. I'm sure many of you would have used this packing tape, the duct tape, to stick and make the components stand and fix and all that. Exactly the same thing carried out in space. Now coming back to the point, it's no ordinary invention, because the person who invented it never knew that it is going to save so many lives, because it was invented back in the year 1943 by a factory worker, a lady, a woman whose 2 sons were soldiers. So she saw, when she was packing the the utilities for the war front, she was thinking about her sons. She saw that those boxes were not packed properly because they were using some kind of paper tape which will be dipped in wax. It will be extremely difficult for them to open and use it against the enemies at times of emergency. So, she took the courage to inform her supervisors who really ignored that idea. She wrote to the then President Franklin Roosevelt, who was impressed with the idea of this duct tape, and he recommended it to the war agency, the organization company, which actually patented it and developed this duct tape. The name duct tape came because it had a resistance to water, like a duck. So initially they started calling it duct tape. Then in due course it became the duct tape. So with this invention called the duct tape, done way back during the World War II in 1943, three precious lives were saved back in space, several miles away from the Earth, and that is what the power of an innovation is. So that's why I give my deep appreciation to you. Every single creativity that you are exhibiting here, every single innovation that is being showcased here has the power of making a significant contribution to the society. So hats off to you, dear DBNs, and to the Reverend Fathers and the faculty members who would have toiled all through these past few weeks to make this happen. My sincere appreciation and congratulations. And to you, I just wanted to conclude with the words of none other than Albert Einstein himself. He says that the true measure of knowledge, intelligence, is not knowledge, but imagination. So the true measure of intelligence is not just understanding or scoring good marks, but imagination. So here is an invitation to you, my dear students, to imagine and innovate. And DB Innovista is one such platform which gives you all the space to imagine, keep imagining, keep innovating, and keep achieving. Thank you very much, and I take this honor and privilege informally declaring DB Innovista 2025 open. Wish you all the best.